Hey, what's up everyone? So this is Ghost in the Arena, Magic the Gathering spoiler video. So we have a bunch of new cards coming to Arena, which is awesome, and Standard and Modern and Legacy and Commander for all those who play. You can't play any of that on Arena, which is a bummer. I wish that they would do like I don't know, where you could keep all the cards that you have and play like a newer type of Modern. I don't know. Would be awesome. I know they've tried a handful of things, but hopefully in the future we see something like that, because I'd like to play something other than just Standard, and they have a lot of their fun little games that they put together that you can play. So if you're new to this channel, this is my first season doing spoilers, so hit like, hit subscribe, and so you can keep up to date on all the new videos that are coming out. I generally do a ton of gameplay. I have some really cool decks that are coming out in the background. If you notice, I have a deck pulled up here, and I'm going to be doing a video on this. I'm just kind of running this, and this moved me up 2 tiers in a matter of like just probably 4 hours. So I'm trying to rush to get to Mythic, because like I started trying to hammer down on it a little late in the season here. All right, so I got a list brought up here. So let's take a look and see what we have. First card, Marauding Raptor. This is 1 red, 1 colorless, Dinosaur. That's awesome. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Well, that's really good. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it. If a Dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I guess offhand, Wizards tends to do this on the set that comes out before a bunch of sets rotate. So this card actually goes with a lot of the dinosaurs that take damage and you get benefits from. So there's a good chance that we'll see a dinosaur deck maybe get put together. I don't know. This seems good. Play a creature, deals a damage to one of your dinosaurs that, God, there's so many abilities. So you could draw a card off of Ripjaw Raptor. You know, there's several that does damage. There's one that goes and gets you land, you know, and it's a 2/3, so it doesn't die. So yeah, this, you know, will take some thinking. Let me know what you guys are going to do down below with this card, because in a dinosaur deck, this has some real action to it. Season of the Growth. 1 green, 1 colorless enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. It's always handy. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Well, that seems pretty neat. I don't know offhand where that would fit with me. But I do like it. It is a good ability. You see this a lot, and then you see like everyone's like, oh, this is going to be great, you know, because you get to scry a lot. And that's really good, being able to filter through your deck to get the best cards you need. And then you always see these cards just not make it anywhere into a deck. So I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know if it'll see play. We will see. Repeated Reverberation. This is 2 red, 2 colorless for an instant. When you next cast an instant spell, comma, cast a sorcery spell, comma, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, comma, copy that spell and ability twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. So this is pretty cool because it has the loyalty ability in there. It is instant speed, so next, so I guess you could play it on their end step, and then, you know, next you do a loyalty ability, you would be able to copy that ability twice. And you could also do this on their end step, and then on your turn you've got this ability just waiting there. So I like that. I mean, that seems really good. And I mean, you're copying it twice. I mean, it's definitely good for 4. You're definitely going to get value out of that, especially if the instant or sorcery spell is like an expensive one. I mean, there's a lot out there that this could just be crazy with. I mean, go get target creature or planeswalker out of a graveyard, or just even lightning strike, or I mean, there's a ton. Like maybe next turn you're going to Banefire. I don't know. But you're going to copy that thing twice. So, I mean, it really is a good way to possibly just end the game turn 5 if you're dealing a lot of direct damage through spells. All right, we have Scholar of the Ages. And this human wizard here, that's a 3/3, cost 7. It costs 7. Right off the bat, I don't even know what it says down there, but 2 blue, 5 colorless. When Scholar of the Ages enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. No. Okay, we have Wolf Rider Saddle. So Wolf Rider, that's what you sit on if you ride wolves. So if anyone wants to make this, you can start riding wolves. This is 1 green, 3 colorless for an artifact equipment. When Wolf Rider's Saddle enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token, then attach Wolf Rider's Saddle to it and get on it. No, you don't do that. You equip creature gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So 4/4, you get a 3/3, and it has an ability that it can only be blocked by 1 creature. And if it falls off, you equip 3 for a +1 in that ability. Okay, so we have a card that is going to need translating. So when I read these translations, I'm just getting them off the internet. I can't guarantee that they're exact because sometimes they do make mistakes. And in Magic, that could be a little different of the word, which is a big deal. So it's always better before you start thinking about some of these cards that get translated that you make sure 100% you see the card in your language. So we have Herald of the Sun, 2 white, 4 colorless for an angel who's a 4/4 that has flying. You can pay a white and 3 colorless to put a +1 counter on another target creature you control with flying. I mean, it's fair enough and limited, I guess. Okay. This card is called Fry. And it's a picture of some chicken legs. Okay. It's a picture of some chicken, and does it have to be chicken legs too? Like, fry this chicken, come on. With smoke coming off of them, all that's left is the legs and a bunch of feathers being flown around. So someone was out there testing their powers and zapped this chicken. I don't know that this chicken was on the battlefield, but maybe it was. Maybe that's a card that will get spoiled later. So it is 1 red, 1 colorless for an instant that can't be countered. That seems okay. Fry deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue. So it's one of those limited cards. 5 damage for 2 is good at instant speed. I think that's fair enough. That pretty much kills any planeswalkers that hit the board that are in those colors. But a lot of these planeswalker decks are like 3 colors, so you might miss on some. But, it seems okay. It's still funny that they call it Fry. What does this say down here? I'm afraid your dinner got a little overcooked. Give me a break. Okay, so they're trying to be funny. I get it. All right, well, we're sending it back. Ooh, mythic rare. Yarok the Desecrated. All right, so this is 1 blue, 1 green, 1 black, 2 colorless for legendary creature elemental horror. Death Touch and Lifelink. That's always good. It is a 3/5, so it's not horrible. I'm sure it's got a good ability down here. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this is always a good effect. This could actually make Salty Mid really good, especially with Explore being in there. I mean, trigger, oh my gosh, twice. That would be so good, especially it's always so good on a body too. It is legendary though, and it does cost 5, so this doesn't start happening till turn 3 or 4. Generally, decks running green can easily cast this turn 3 pretty consistently turn 4. So that being said, makes it even better in that situation. But having a handful of these in your hands, oh, it works so good with so much. Oh, it says permanent. Holy crap. So that means anything. Anything if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability. So that makes proliferate really good. So if a land comes in, you proliferate. You can have that all happen twice, which is on planeswalkers too. Man, you get a +1 counter on this and start proliferating. That'd be crazy. There's just a lot of cards this is going to work really well with, and will definitely be a lot of fun to play. There will be a lot of situations where they'll just be like, holy crap, how am I going to deal with that? So that is awesome. I do like this card. I like this element. It's an elemental too, let's mind you, but it is not in red, so, but it is still an elemental. So there's a lot of elementaling going on here. So we have another card we're going to translate here. We have 4/3 Scuttlemutt. Artifact creature Scarecrow. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Good. Tap it, target creature becomes the color of colors of your choice until end of turn. Well, that's good. Means we have protection in the format now, so that's handy. And we also have other cards that target just certain colors, so this would be good against that. But I don't know how good. I don't know if it'll be 100% necessary to play this card. Okay, so here we have, this was spoiled late last night, and I got really excited, so let's just jump into it and we'll talk about it. This is a new Planeswalker card, and we will translate this. So, to the best of our ability here, we have Mu Yangling Skydancer. This costs 2 blue, 1 colorless for a legendary Planeswalker. Its +2 is until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0, and loses flying. So that seems good. I mean, you get a weaken. It does protect her, but not as much. We've seen this ability on Planeswalkers before. Dobin out of Kaladesh was one of them. It puts a creature on the ground, which makes it able for you to block. So that does have use. It's -3. Now this Planeswalker only comes in with 2 loyalty, so you can't even use its -3 right away. It is create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. That's really powerful if turn 4 you at least get to make a 4/4 flyer along with anything else if she survives. So it's not horrible. But like I said, at first I was like, oh my gosh, this Planeswalker seems really good. So -8. You get an emblem with islands you control have. Tap, draw a card. That is really powerful. If you can get there. She does +2, so you can get there in the right deck, and you can constantly draw cards, look for stuff, and interact. But it's only islands, so I mean, I think it would play a lot better maybe in a format that has access to a lot of dual lands that say island on them, because you could just tap them for land. It is very possible this card ends up being very powerful. So I was super excited about this card. I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's got some sweet art on it. This Planeswalker just seems great. And then the more you think about it, you're like, interactions and gameplay, how helpful is this going to be? Like, I need to be able to -3 to get a big creature out because I'm in blue, so the chance I'm not possibly playing a ton of creatures, or I'm not going to have a ton out there. Maybe if mono blue wants to run this in the side, maybe. I don't know. Tempo, get it out there, ultimate it. But I mean, do you want to ultimate it though? Tap, draw a card is crazy good, but these big flyers, that's really good. 4/4 elemental bird token. Creature token. Seems really good. You guys gotta let me know what you think about this down in the comments, because I'm dying to see what everybody says. I looked online a little bit to see, and some people were like, oh, this is cool, this is sweet. Some are like, this is trash, this is garbage. Which is how it goes. Everyone's always got their own ideas about cards, so let me know. I'm dying to know. In that case being said, please hit like and subscribe too while you're down there commenting. Cavalier of Dawn, and I'm sure it's a knight. It doesn't say on here that it is, so I'm not saying that it is, but it has vigilance. It costs 3 white, 2 colorless for a 4/6. When Cavalier of Dawn enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 golem artifact creature token. So it costs 5, and you get to destroy a non-land permanent. That's good. They do get a creature out of it, but if you're getting value, what's the 3/3 to your 4/6 with vigilance that you're just going to attack into? I do like this card. I think this card is good. We're in a pretty, even though there's a ton of Planeswalker decks out there, we still have a handful of really fast decks. It does have a 4/6. It's really hard to remove once it gets down. It could put you in a really good situation. I do like this card. Let's see what else. It does more. When Cavalier of Dawn dies, return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Well, there's definitely enchantments you want to get back in the mono white deck. I mean, so you could go back, get Legion's Landing, you could get Conclave, Excellence Binding. There's just a ton and ton of cards. I guess the biggest one would be History of Benalia. So, I mean, there's definitely targets for this card in a deck. I think being at 5 is really hard for it, but I don't know. Even with this just as first ability, whenever it enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target non-land permanent, is really good, and you get a 4/6. So I like this card. So we have Masterful Replication, and this costs 1 blue and 5 colorless. It's an instant, and it says choose one. Create 2 3/3 colorless artifact golem creature tokens. Your other option is choose target artifact you control. Other artifacts you control become a copy of that artifact until end of turn. That could be really handy. I think 6 is crazy. But I mean, these are handy abilities. But 6 is crazy. Alright, so we have Knight of the Ebon Legion. 1 black gets you a Vampire Knight who's a 1/2. So that's good. He doesn't die to Chain Whirler. Then you can pay 2 colorless, 1 black. Knight of the Ebon Legion gets +3/+3 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. Well, that seems really good. I mean, you're paying 3 to get +3/+3, but it's nice to be able to make this guy that big. There's a lot of situations where they go to shock him or they go to lightning strike him, and you're just like, no, if they're not paying attention. Then it also says, in the beginning of your instep, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. That is really good. So he not only can he bump himself, but he gets bigger and bigger, and he comes out turn 1. And if you're playing him, you're probably playing more creatures, so you're probably dealing damage. I like it. It seems good. This is a good 1-drop, so I like this. At a rare, it probably needs to be only costing 1 and having all these abilities. So turn 1, you get all this stuff, all access to all these abilities. So that is awesome to be able to play turn 1. Okay, well, this might go with the last card. Here we have Sorin, a 3-drop Sorin. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. Legendary Planeswalker, Mythic Rare. Comes in with 4 loyalty. It has 2 +1s and a -3. Let's check these out. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, so it looks like he's going tribal, but that's crazy good in a vampire deck. +1, you may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin Imperious Bloodlord deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. That's really good. Because there's a lot of vampire tokens and stuff you get to make with creatures that come into the battlefield, so I like that. Staying on tribal, so we'll see how this probably is too. -3. You may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, and he comes in with 4. Okay, well, that's insane. We've got some good ones. Okay, so we have a ton of vampires. We have a ton of vampires in standard that, I think we get value out of this. So turn 3, you could just be like Vana, Butcher of Megan. Legendary creature, Vampire Knight, Vigilance, Lifelink. It's a 5-drop. You just tap it, pay 7 life, destroy target non-land permanent. Activate this ability only during your turn. It's a 4/4. You have Elenda, the Dust Rose. That's a 4-drop that could come down turn 3 along with him. When another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Well, that kind of goes with Sorin's other ability. So they'll die. She'll get a counter. You also get to do 3 to anything. Gain 3 life. So you're not really losing much. We also have Twilight Prophet. That's a 4-drop. That's crazy good. It's a mythic rare vampire cleric. 2/4 flyer with Ascend. And its Ascend ability is what makes it the best. It's such a good ability. I want to play with this card before it rotates out. So maybe Sorin will help me be able to do that competitively. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have the City's Blessing reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is that card's converted mana cost. So there's a ton of awesome vampires to go with this guy. So that is great. I really love this card. I'm glad they printed it. It does suck that a ton of really awesome vampires are rotating out here in 3 months, roughly. So, but it's so awesome, so awesome. So hopefully we get some more vampires here in the future, maybe the next set, so that doesn't make this completely unplayable. Yeah, even though he's tribal, I love this card. I think vampire decks are awesome. I think they're just fun to play. I love playing vampire decks, zombie decks. They're just tribal is just a lot of fun to play because everything interacts so well together. All right, we have Rotting Regisaur. 1 black, 2 colorless for a zombie dinosaur. Who's a 7/6? Holy crap, that's huge. They always make some zombies that are crazy huge. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Well, that's a bummer. But what is not a bummer is a 7/6 on turn 3. Or turn 2. Shit, you could play this turn 2 in Golgari. Oh my god, it is only 1 black. He's only 1 black. Well, this is insane. I mean, this puts serious pressure on your opponent. They'll have to kill it. So if they can't kill it, well, they're taking 7, and I'm pretty sure I would discard a card to deal 7 and still have a creature on the board that's huge. I think this card is really very powerful, especially in Arena in a best of 1 situation, to where they don't have a sideboard where they can go nab something to be able to deal with this early. He's not legendary, so 2 of these, turn 2 play 1, turn 3, turn 4 win the game. Yeah, this seems so good. They said, now that's a zombie. Yeah, that is a zombie or outright. He's definitely a very powerful zombie. That is awesome. I love this card. This may be one of the favorite cards I think I've looked at today. Although Sorin's up there pretty high. I really do like Sorin, but this seems like something I would play. It goes into a deck, run 4 of them, make it really consistent, and just smash your opponent in the face. That's too crazy. Oh, it's too crazy. This definitely easily, with 2 of these on the battlefield, makes it a turn 4 killing deck, which is very good in standard on Arena. Okay, so we have Moldervine Reclamation, and this costs 5 for an enchantment. 1 green, 1 black, 3 colorless. For an enchantment, whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. It costs 5. It is only an uncommon. If you have a really heavy creature deck, maybe this is good and limited. But I don't really see this card getting a whole lot of play, actually. Alright, and the lands came out today. So we have Temple lands. We have them in black and white, blue and red, black and green, red and white, green and blue. And they essentially, they're rare. The Temple lands, they come in the battlefield, tap it. When they come to the battlefield, you get a scry 1. So that's handy. I mean, it's definitely better than the gates that we have in the format now. So if you don't need the land to say gate, I'm sure the decks currently running those for the extra security of the mana will replace them with these so that they get the scry ability. That is the end of the spoilers for today. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe. And any comments you have about cards down there below, please feel free to talk about them. I love talking about Magic cards. Can't wait to be back here again tomorrow. I'll see everyone soon. Take care.